Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of our Feed the Beast Bees tutorial. We've got a pretty quick episode here. We're going to do a couple branches. We're going to hit the heroic branch and the industrious branch. In order to do that, we're going to have to find some bees. Now, the heroic branch requires the steadfast and the valiant bees. These are a little tough to find. The steadfast bees are found in dungeons, so go ahead and spelunk away, and whenever you come across a dungeon, check those chests, because that's how you find the steadfast. And then the valiant is found just by breaking random hives that you find out in the biomes. So I think you have like a 1 in 50 or a 1 in 100 chance of finding a valiant bee. So just go ahead and hit any hives that you come across with your scoop and try and find those valiants. So yeah, we're going to do some manual breeding, and then we're going to complete these 2 branches, and that'll be it. So let's hit it. Hey guys, since last time I've been a little busy doing some stuff off camera, taking care of some housekeeping. Let me take you around a little bit and show you some of the stuff that I've done. One thing you may have noticed about these machines is they take a ton of power, just a ton. I mean, look at this. Max input 2,000 Minecraft joules per tick, uses 100 megajoules or Minecraft joules per tick. That's just unreal. It's just so much. So yeah, they all suck a lot of power, and if you've started using these machines, you've probably noticed that it's pretty frustrating to just sit around and wait for the power to build up. So I've added in some extra stuff to my power grid here. All these extra redstone energy cells are plugged into this tesseract, which are plugged into Mize's main grid. Now, Mize asked me to try and keep my bee stuff separate, but I'm just too impatient. I had to go tap his energy because he's got so much of it. He's so greedy. So what we have over here is some geothermal generators, and they are running off of the lava tank that we have downstairs. The lava tank is connected to the nether via another tesseract, a liquid tesseract, and we're just pumping lava out of the nether. It's actually kind of a little cheaty way to get lots of power. We're going to explore other options. I think that we're eventually going to go to steam power and then maybe nuclear power. But just for now, it really helps to have this setup going here. So this system here generates EU, I believe it's called, which is stored here in our MFSU, which you can see is full with 10 million. And then we pump that over here into this energy bridge, which converts EU into Minecraft joules, which is then plugged into all these redstone energy cells, which are then in turn plugged into various tesseracts to power things around the base. So this is for Mizeco base. This one's powering our quarry, and this is my supplemental bee power. Now, basically, I just set up my redstone energy cell to output what's left over. So basically, the excess energy that this system creates goes down to my bees. This works out great because I just let this thing run overnight, and it fills up this huge bank of redstone energy cells. So I have a couple million Minecraft joules at my disposal, which really helps. So yeah, you really need to figure out your power situation if you're going to be using these advanced machines. What else have I done? Got a couple permanent residents here. What I like to do with this system is I use these for working with my bees, and then down here on the end, as I get species that I want to actually produce things, I start lining them up. So I've got my meadows here producing honeycombs, and I've got my Imperials, which are producing dripping combs and royal jelly. And royal jelly is of course useful with the advanced machines. I also changed my setup here, so I have restrictor pipes coming off of these, and then the extra bees are fed down here into this ender chest, which is yellow, yellow, white. And that brings them up here, and they are pumped out and into my gene pool through a hopper. You can see it's already taking care of a bunch of bees. And then of course the hopper After it's done going through there, it goes out the DNA goes out the back to my tesseract into my big tank of liquid DNA. So yeah, it's nice to have automation, especially with bees. There's a lot of work. Ow. Also off camera, I have been working on the Industrious branch. Now, the first bees in the Industrious branch are the diligent bees, and they are bred between the common and the cultivated bees. Now, if you remember when we did the noble branch with the noble bees, they were also bred between the common and the cultivated. So what happened when I did that was I got a bunch of diligents too. So what I basically did was I piled them in this chest here, and I set my apiarist pipes to just recycle through this chest, and I dropped a Rocky Princess in here and just let it go. And now, of course, I have a purebred diligent, and yeah, up here I've got my stack of diligent drones. So that completes the diligent bees. The next bees that we're going to get into in the Industrious branch are the unwary bees, and they are a crossbreed between the diligent and the cultivated. So let me clean all this stuff out of here. Over here I have my cultivated bees working. Got a bunch of drones, so I'll take those off that. And yeah, I'm going to set this up to crossbreed between diligent and cultivated. And I'll go ahead and set these chests up, my apiarist pipes up off camera, because you guys already know how to do all that. One other thing I've been working on too is the next branch is the heroic branch, and I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to do this right away, just because there's some issues with getting some of the bees. The first bees in the heroic branch are the steadfast bees, and there's only one way to find steadfast bees that I know of, and that is in dungeons. So if you find like a spawner or something and there's a chest, sometimes you'll find a steadfast drone hanging out in one of those chests. I've been very lucky. Mize and I have been spelunking like crazy, to build all this craziness. And we actually ran into 2 steadfast drones, which was great. So to get these guys going, I'm going to take a Rocky Princess, and this is a little uncertain. I mean, I've only got 2, which is better than just 1, but still, it's a bit of a gamble using these guys. But what else am I going to do? So I'm going to set up actually just one special apiary here, and I'm going to do this by hand manually because I don't want any screw ups. What I've done, let me show you these real quick, is I've run these through my advanced bee machines, and if you look at these, species is Rocky, right? But the active and inactive genes all match. So it's a totally purebred bee. And I've got shortest, slowest, rock 4x. Shortest, slowest, rock 4x. And then the same thing on the climate and all this stuff. Complete climate and humidity tolerance, and yeses on all of the nocturnal flyer cave. Same thing with the Rocky Princess. One thing I do want to note, there was a lot of work to get all this done on all 3 of these bees, but the big thing I think is the fertility, 4x. So when I mate one of these steadfast drones to this Rocky Princess, I'm going to get 4 drones off of it, which is going to dramatically increase my chances of hopefully getting more of these steadfast drones, so I can continue my work with breeding these. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this going. And I'll come back when they're done cooking. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, that does not look good. Let's see what they are. Oh, well, could have done worse. Rocky Steadfast. Got 1 Rocky Steadfast hybrid, and this is probably going to be... Oh! Alright. Well, that could have been a lot worse. Let's let's put this Rocky steadfast hybrid in with our purebred. Cross our fingers. Starting to get a pretty good collection here. Got a long ways to go, but let's go check on our steadfast bees. Oh, all right. Well, that's pretty lucky. Let's see what we got here. Ah, yes. I can't believe on my second try I've got a purebred steadfast. That is, oh man, and three, yes. You know, one of the reasons why this worked so quickly is because of all of these traits matching. So the only thing that was mutating between the two species was actually the species itself, these genes right here. So, sweet. That takes care of the steadfast. Now I just gotta go find a valiant drone. Ooh. That is a valiant bee. Man, I can't tell you how many of these hives I've broken trying to find him. Oh, yes. Valiant princess. That's a really lucky find. I think only about 1 in 100 hives will spawn a valiant randomly. So, man, about time. Cool. So, since I found that valiant princess, I need to make a matching drone. So I grabbed myself a majestic drone and ran them through my advanced bee machines and got most of the traits to match between these two. The only trait that I left actually was the lifespan. The valiant has a long lifespan, so I'm going to try and keep that if I can. I might want to try and extract this later. The reason why I went with a majestic drone is because there is no offspring between the valiant and the majestic, so you can breed these two together time and time and time again, and there will never be a new species that comes off of this. So my goal here, remember, is to make more valiant drones. So as a conversion, I'm only going to get either valiant or majestic or some hybrid of the two, which will make things a little easier. And once again, I'm gonna just throw it down an apiary and do this by hand because I only have the one bee. So here we go. Let's see what we got. Well, we got two valiant drones out of it. Let's see here. Just gonna breed these guys against each other. Alright, check this out. Looks like we're doing pretty good now. Not too bad after just 2 rounds. Let's see what we got. Oh, purebreds. Yes. Yes. Okay. So 2 purebreds and a hybrid. I think we're on our way here. I'm going to spare you guys the monotony of going through this, and I'm just going to keep recycling these valiants against this majestic until I've got some purebreds. Alright, let's see where we're at here. Let this run overnight, and I believe we're all set with Unweary. Pretty nice. Yeah, purebred. Next step is the Industrious, which will round out our Industrious branch. Got my Diligent here. If I crossbreed Diligent and Unweary, I will get my Industrious branch. So I'm going to go ahead and get this set up, let it run, and easy as that. Should be all set. So as you can see, I've built a second breeding machine. I'm doing the Industrious and the Heroic branch at the same time, so I needed the extra capacity. Oh, look, there it goes. Cool. Yeah, I've progressed to a point now where I've got a whole stack of Valiant drones. So I think I'm ready to actually go for the Heroic bees. Which is pretty exciting. I've never gotten them before. I've never had the I never had all the steadfast bees that I needed. And look at that. A whole ton of them. Great. I'm going to get this machine set up to make my heroic bees, which is simply valiant bred across steadfast. These two will eventually throw off a heroic bee, and yeah, we're on our way. So I think I've made a mistake here. I've let this run for a couple hours, and I'm not getting anything. Got a lot of valiant and a lot of steadfast, and I'm not getting my my heroic bee. So I looked it up online, and actually I think the issue is that the heroic bee can only be created in the forest biome, and I am in Savannah. So I think I got to go find me a forest biome and set this machine up there. So I'm gonna go do that. It's gonna take some flying around and some searching, but I'll come back when I found a place. Alright, so I found myself a forest biome. I'm only about, well, I guess I'm only about 400 blocks from Mizco, so I kind of got lucky. If you look on my map here, you can see that. Let me zoom out. There we go. There's just this little patch of trees here, and yeah, I'm good to go. So I'm gonna drop in my steadfast and my valiant. Let those guys groove, and I guess I'll just hang out here. Maybe I'll find something to do with you. Alright, so I think I've got the heroic all done. Got my heroic queen here. Yes, it was fun. We had a great time. But anyway, got a bunch of heroics here. Man, I left this run way too long. Look at all these stacks. But yeah, let's head back to Mizco and see what we can do with these heroics. So I've got this creeper trapped here, and I think the heroic bees have this effect of killing bad mobs, but I've never seen this in action, so this is kind of an experiment. Let's just see what happens. Oh, check that out. Not very effective. I think you would need like you'd need like 1,000 of these apiaries to actually do anything. Jeez. What'd that take, like 8 hits to get rid of a creeper? Not very impressive. That's alright though, because bees can do a whole lot more than that. That are really cool, so yeah, that completes the heroic branch. I just gonna go up here and check on my Industrious. I think my Industrious are done too. Let's see what we got up here. Oh yeah, Industrious is all done. Wow, they look very similar. Got my full stack here. Now, Industrious puts out pollen. Pollen will give us access to aviaries. You can see here's a pollen. Let's see what it's used for. I can make catalyst. This is what we really want, scented paneling. So with some pollen, beeswax, royal jelly, and some wood planks, we get the scented paneling. And this is what's used to make alveary. Alveary, not with an L. And once we get these blocks, we can start making these big items. It's sort of like a big aviary, but I don't know, it's got cool stuff. We'll go over that in another episode, but yeah, that completes the heroic branch and the Industrious branch. And I think we're kind of out of time here, so I'm going to sign off and say goodbye and see you for our next episode. Don't forget to subscribe.